Art.
I can't imagine a world without art.
I think that art changes lives.
The arts are critical to healthy bodies, healthy minds, and healthy communities.
It's important for those who do art. It's important for those who view the art.
This year's honorees in the arts: Dr. Louise Bailey Dixon, Jane During, and Dr. Diane R. Nelson.
My name is Louise Bailey Dixon, and I'm a professor at Northeast State Community College. My art is to write, direct, choreograph, and produce Kingsport Showtime as a Fun Fest event.
With a deep love for Kingsport and a deep love for dance and the arts, Louise Bailey Dixon founded Showtime in 1988. Today, this family-oriented musical show involves more than 100 cast members and entertains thousands.
I've always been interested in Kingsport history and the community, and so I started attending some meetings that Kingsport had. They were talking about community unity, and I was looking at that time for a place to showcase my dancers. Showtime was born. I dreamed about it for 2 or 3 years. My twin sister helped me, and we got Showtime started, and that was 23 years ago. We do 5 sections of the show every year. We do Broadway, a Broadway section, and then we do a country music section, and then rock and roll, and after the rock and roll section we do gospel, and then patriotic. We sing about Fun Fest, we sing about Kingsport. Now that's not all the way through the show, but sections of the show we write specifically about Kingsport. It's an original show. The most exciting thing about the show, people, working with the people. It's not just on the stage, it's backstage and downstairs with the children, and then the costumes afterwards. We sing together, we laugh together, we cry together. It's just been a great experience.
Jane During, Director of Advancement at Barter Theater.
Jane During loves her job at Barter Theater, and she plays a big role in the theater's continued success. She helps donors see the behind-the-scenes magic of Barter and has found ways to help the next generation support the work of the theater.
The best perk of my job is that I get to meet people from absolutely all walks of life with one thing in common: the love of the arts and their passion for theater. As Director of Advancement, I have oversight of 3 departments: sales and service, marketing, and development. I spend most of my time in development. But all 3 of these departments are essential to Barter because they generate the earned income and the contributed income. If you presented our business plan that we were going to have a professional theater in a rural area, you just wouldn't think it would fly on paper, but it is the combination of this region and the people of this region and the people that make up Barter and the legacy of Barter and how it was founded that make it work. Barter would not be here in the way that it is here without the overwhelming belief in Barter and that the belief that this region deserves something as special as Barter. It's a pleasure to have a mission such as Barter's to fight for. I am only able to do what I do because people care. So if I am successful or if I have any sort of abilities, it's only because people are so caring here and ready to support something like Barter Theater.
I'm Diane Nelson. I'm Professor Emerita at East Tennessee State University in the Department of Biological Sciences. But I'm also an underwater photographer, scuba diver, and an artist as well.
A prize-winning water media artist and an advocate for the mentally ill, Diane Nelson merges her many passions together to make a big splash in the worlds of art and science.
All of our waters run into the ocean and affect all of the organisms that live there. And if I can show people what that world looks like, then maybe they will care about it as much as I do. Oh, when I'm underwater, that is just the most fantastic feeling in the world. You're totally weightless, you're perfectly balanced in that world, and you just go gently sinking down into the depths. When we see sharks underwater, we love sharks. We look for sharks. We want to photograph sharks. Most people think of Jaws, you know, da-dum, 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 and they hear the music and they want to just get out of there. They're afraid to even get in the water. We look for them because they're magnificent animals, and to see them swim with just so little effort, and to watch their eyes as they kind of look at you out of the corner of their eye, not with any malice or any ill intent. They're just curious about, why are you there in their world? Now, when I paint a particular subject, I can really put my feelings into that painting. It's not just a painting that people will say, oh, that's a pretty picture. I want them to see, what is the story? What's going on here? Why do they look this way? What are they thinking? What's going on inside their brain? And so it is merging the biology, the chemistry of the brain, with a medium that the ordinary person can understand and perhaps interpret and maybe reflect on their life.
To be a lifelong learner is the most important word of advice that I would have to anyone.
Take a class that's totally unrelated to what you do.
It doesn't have to be formal, it doesn't have to be college level. It can be to pick up a new hobby or learn a new dance.
Upholstery, electrical wiring, watercolor, because you will learn something in that class that all of a sudden sheds relevance on what you do daily.
I think the biggest lesson for me is to learn that when somebody says you can't do that, is to say, yes, I can.